Good afternoon, my friends. This is the Grim Flayer. Hope you're doing very well today, and I am not a great mono-red Prowess player. I'm really not yet anyway. I've only owned the deck for little under a week, maybe exactly a week, something like this, and I've never played it through a league until now. We're about to debut the deck in a league on this channel for your, I usually say edification and entertainment when I play the Rock. I don't know how edifying it will be, but I think the deck's got real legs. I think it's going to be pretty sweet, and hopefully I don't play too badly, but if nothing else, the growing pains may be amusing for those of you who are Prowess veterans. Maybe some lines will be more obvious to you than they are to me. As always, my friends, you can let me know about that in the comments section. You know, maybe be a little bit gentle because it is the debut, but hey, let it rip either way, right? So I have made a couple changes to the list since I made my deck tech, and in that interim time, I've discovered Ryan Overturf's excellent Prowess content on Twitch, and of course he's doing a lot of Pioneer stuff right now, but I did see a mono-red list from him and some streaming, and that was definitely helpful with starting to learn the deck, and I have made my list, you know, closer to what he's doing. It's very probable that I should just be copying it, basically, but you know, failing that, we are doing a couple things that are a little bit more similar. I guess the major differences from his list and also from some stock things is that I am, instead of the 4th Bedlam Reveler, I am playing still that one of Kiln Fiend. I just think that in the matchups where Reveler is good, you're just motoring through the deck enough where you're likely to see the one that you need. And yes, they can be good in multiples, but usually one should be enough to be the knockout blow against an attrition deck. And playing full 4 leads to more awkward opening hands, more awkward early light up the stages, and more vulnerability to graveyard hate, which may or may not be amazing against us overall, but I don't want to get cheesed out by it, basically. And we are playing the one of Kiln Fiend in that spot for the, you know, additional game 1 free win potential, basically. I am also, you know, some people play 0 copies of this, some play 4, Orion plays 4. I have tried 4, I like it a lot. The more I play this deck, the more I like these effects. I am doing a classic Grim Flayer hedge of splitting, instead of going like 2 of these in 4 of my upgraded shock, or 4 and 2, or 2 and 4, whichever way, I already said it. I'm doing the classic Grim Flayer hedge of 3 each, and the other major difference in my deck is that I do rate Forked Bolt highly in just my initial testing. Maybe this is a noob take, maybe it's a noob take. Most people play Burst Lightning, you also see Firebolt, some occasional gut shots in this kind of flex damage slot. I don't know, guys, Forked Bolt has really overperformed for me. I've taken some cues from Ryan and tweaking the sideboard a bit. We got a Dismember in there, we're on the Blood Moon train, and we are playing a 4th Shatter effect in the form of Shenanigans. I did mention this in the deck tech. I do like this right now, looks pretty good to me, so we are jumping right into a league. I hope you enjoy this one, my friends, and I hope we do okay on the debut. I really do. Here we go. So let's make sure I've registered the right deck here. Looks like it to me. Yeah, I'm excited for this as a change of pace. For those who might just be discovering my channel via this video, I am a dedicated BGX mid-range player in Modern, specific focus on BG the Rock, or Golgari mid-range, and I've been doing that for about a year here on the channel, and, you know, dabbling in other things as donation leagues or bannings and unbannings with, like, Stoneforge Mystic dictate, but I finally have succumbed to the urge to pick up, like, a real second deck of my own for myself, and this is it, so this is what we're going to do. I think we probably want to mulligan this one. The 1 land Kiln Fiend Bedlam Reveler hand, with the 1 land being Fiery Islets, probably a mull. I think it's close. Alright, well, I'm going to keep this. We are on the draw. We do get another look. Just bottom one of our light-ups. They can unmull us, but first we need to kind of dig through the deck. We need to retain access to some damage to turn on the light-ups, so I think that's the right mull, but not a very good opening hand, and not a very good draw of Warlord's Fury number 2 either. We want to cycle the Furies before the Crash Throughs because Crash Through is generally more impactful on the board to give trample. And we have had our second land. So that's a good thing, but we also need a creature, which we don't have. But we can maybe go Lava Spike, light up the stage if we don't draw one. And it's just a slow start, though. Just not really where we want to be. Light it up. Is it going to resolve? I don't know what we're up against. Okay, Manamorphose, Forked Bolt. Yeah, I mean, we're doing it. We just need to find a 1-drop and need them to not have a kill spell. Might be a lot to ask. Thought Scour, Stubborn Denial. Okay. You know, if this is a Grixis Shadow deck, which it doesn't usually play Misty Rainforest, but people sometimes play off-brand fetches, online especially, then our slow start is actually decent because we just kind of want to, we don't necessarily want to chip away at them. Of course, turning on Shadow is a little scary. We can't really contend with a big Shadow. We just have to erase it. So you gotta pick your spot. What are we dealing with here on 3 mana with no red? So that's not a Kolaghan's Command. This might just be a big fat Gurmag Angler. It is? Okay, so this is something we have to race, you know, Shadow be damned. Bedlam Reveler is a good draw. Potentially. So we're just going to kick it off with a Manamorphose here. There's no real need to dig right away for a creature because we can't attack into Angler this turn anyway. Alright, so let's Fury. Yeah, funnily enough, we can go Manamorphose into Reveler. I don't think that's what we should do, but we could. Turn 3 Reveler potential. So do we even Manamorphose, or do we just, like, crash through Forked Bolt? I mean, I guess I kind of like saving Manamorphose for next turn. What are we going to find this turn that's that much more appealing? Again, we don't... Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I'm just going to... I think we're just crashing and bolting here. One reason I liked Crash is because we do want to hit another land to try to empty out our hand before we have to rev. Death Shadow, huh? Okay. Are we going to try to kill the Shadow? I guess we begin with a Manamorphose. Obviously, Stubborn Denial complicates this. Just begin with a Manamorphose, see if they fight over it. Okay, there's a land. Let's go again. Sure. This could be a great turn under other circumstances, that I can tell you. So... if the Shadow becomes a 7/7, we're dead. So one thing we can do is Lava Dart the Shadow, and then in response to their fetch, just bolt it. I think I'm going to go for that. I think we need to kill the Shadow to win. Now if they have, like, double Street Wraith in hand, or, of course, Stubborn Denial, this goes haywire, but don't know if we can beat that stuff anyway. So let's do that. Cool. Okay, so now do we just rev to get the body down? It's a bit of a waste. Yeah, I think we're supposed to keep digging here. Forked bolts. Sure. Stubby D. Or, ooh, Snapcat. Ooh. Okay. Snap Stubby D. The major reason I say ooh here is because we're now dead to Teamer Battle Rage. So for that reason, I kind of want to Lava Dart the Snap while they're tapped out. It's a pretty bad play in a lot of ways, but I don't want to just give up the free win here. And Snap is something we also have to contend with if we want to actually achieve lethal in the next 2 turns before they kill us. So, you know, even though Crash Through can in theory get through that, I think that's still a fine play. Justifiable play, perhaps. Okay, I mean, I think we're incentivized to crash here. Kind of some poor hits. Again, we're a little land choked for what we're up to here, but now we get 2 lands off of this, which is pretty poor. Yeah, so it's possible that we can't really beat them without that Lava Dart, like on the offensive, so maybe we were supposed to just make them have the TBR. The Royal Scions. +2/+0, first strike and trample. Yikes. Okay. Might as well bolt now to get the prowess on the defensive here. And to be mana efficient and hope they don't have counter magic, we just hit a couple burn spells off the top, one off the draw step, one off the Fiery Islet. Spike and bolt will do it, if they don't have permission. Okay. It's not quite it, and they probably do have a Fatal Push here. Or Kolaghan's Command or something. They also have just the buff here, so we are just dead. Get a little bit more info. There's push. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, Fatal Push decks are tough matchups. Shadow, I think, is probably a tough matchup, but I don't know. Again, first time in a league with the deck. It's certainly one of the less intuitive ones to navigate optimally, so really tough to face that immediately in round 1, right? But that's where we're at. Are we supposed to try to cheese them out with a moon? I don't know. Maybe on the play, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know if I'm the one who knows. Shrine is interesting. I think we definitely want Dismember. Don't know if we want Shrine. I think we're going to cut Kiln Fiend in this matchup. Forked Bolts, probably a little bit on the weaker side. I'm going to choose to leave in all the spikes so we can try to cheese them out like we did at the end there. So what if we just play 1 moon for the cheese factor? Seems okay. I don't don't know how to feel about Shrine. It's very weak to K command. So probably better overall than like Kiln Fiend and the excess Force Bolts. Will keep one just as a shock with upside, I guess. Run it like this. Seems incorrect. Seems incorrect in some way. I don't know how much we want to go on the surgical plan against just Snapcaster decks. Maybe that's a better side-in. Maybe we'll revisit this stuff on the draw when we need to be more mana efficient. If we take him to game 3. I mean, we're supposed to keep it. It's a little worrisome in its lack of attrition, like we don't have any of our 2-for-1s. And again, this is a matchup where it's obviously a little risky to just go pedal to the metal and try to burn him out. But the opponent mulling to 4, that could help. That probably makes us want to just try to go burn mode. Well, I don't care what the matchup is. If they mull to 4, we've got a chance, right? Oh, man. How come no one ever mulls to 4 against me when I'm on the rock? Because I guess they just keep any functional hand against the attrition deck. That's why. Still. So I think generally speaking, that's the play is early on you want a Lava Dart in a spot like that rather than Bolt, because the Lava Dart opens up more tricks in subsequent turns out of the graveyard, complicates the opponent's sequencing, and you also just save the kind of surprise 3 damage factor for later. Okay, there's their fetching basics. Damping Sphere, sure. Definitely a rough card. Wonder if we should be abrading. I think we're going to attack and then light up. Worth noting that we could actually just hardcast the light up main phase for extra damage. Still getting our 2-for-1. But this, if we hit instants or lands off of it, we're rewarded for this. Or even, like a Lava Spike here could be fine. Lava Dart Dismember, huh? Okay, so that sphere is going to stop them from cheesing us, or stop us from cheesing them out really well with, nice, with Lava Darts. Not fully, because we can work around this in some ways, but certainly a card that's a lot scarier on the play. So if let's assume everything resolves, Dart, they're at 6, they're dead. Guess we go for it. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So, Damping Sphere is a problem because Abrade is a very poor card against the threat suite of Death Shadow and Gurmag Angler, but that is an out to Damping Sphere. But how many spheres are they realistically playing? Probably not very many. As you can see, we can beat it. Granted, they mulliganed to 4, so we were on the play against a mull to 4, not representative. Nonetheless, I think it's a beatable card. However, I'm less interested in Blood Moon on the draw, especially since they showed they're pretty willing to fetch basic lands. So, options here are Shrine, and I guess we would still play Abrade over Shenanigans. We can 2-for-1 ourselves maybe to kill an Angler with the help of Abrade. We can kill a Snapcaster if we need to. We can kill Jace Friend's Prodigy if they're on that. So maybe we do just play an Abrade. Still don't know how to rate Shrine here at all. Maybe it's just a little too slow, but again, what are we playing over it? Just like another Forked Bolt or a Surgical? Surgical is kind of cute in this matchup, though. Yep, here's where my lack of experience comes in, my friends. So, just gonna hit submit. I think Shrine could complicate life enough for the opponent that I don't mind playing one when I'm not sure how to rate alternatives to it. Bit of a sketchy keep with only one land being Islet. You know, life total does matter for us in this matchup. And we got our second land right away. Love it. See what the opponent does here, but we'll have some interesting decisions if they just say go, and they just say go. I think I'm going to get the Shrine down. I think I'm going Shrine here because if they trade something for it, I don't mind that all that much. And it's a little bit risky to shove all in on a big Swifty this turn because number one, it's not clear that that's correct, and number two, they obviously could just have a kill spell. So, just going to go with the Shrine here. If they stub it, they stub it. If they have K-Command next turn, that's worse. But and then, like, there's no good outcome with K-Command. They kill our thing, they shatter our Shrine. That's bad. Or they have a kill spell here, and or they don't care to kill our Swifty with the shock mode, and then they go shatter, discard. Well, that's also pretty bad. We're just very, very weak to a K command right now. Okay, there's the push. So this is definitely a matchup where we want to trade off resources, top deck a Reveler. Okay, no K command, at least not yet. Alright, I think we're just going Swifty Fury, see what we hit. K command now, perhaps? Okay. Yeah, you know, if we had another land to play, that that might not have worked out so well for the opponent, but they They took the highest reward line and they got it. Again, any K command at any point early on in this game would have been terrible for us, so I'm not that heartbroken, but still sucks. Angler, I imagine. Be pretty rough if so. Yep, Angler and holding up the usual stuff, huh? No land drops to be found. If the opponent continues curving out this well, it's going to be rough. But if they do get a little bit flooded, you know, maybe we can draw into some explosive turns and turn the tide of this game. We draw Lava Spike. Boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Draws haven't been very good. Guess we're going to begin with this. Another Lava Spike? Where's our third land, man? I don't think it's clear enough that we want to spike them, so I'm going to go for another Crash Through. Try to draw another land. Just nothing. Just nothing at all. So this puts them to 12. Or it doesn't. Snap, push, sure. Yeah, we've had a million cracks at the third land, haven't hit it. Don't think we're going to win this one, my friends, but Abrade. Not going to do it. Got a Manamorphose. If they've got the Stubborn Denial, we just lose on the spot. Yep. Okay, absolutely wrecked. Games 1 and 3 by really good curve outs. And really medium progressions on our part, you know? I think we got on the unlucky side, but mainly I just don't really want to face a matchup like this, especially while I'm new to the deck, so it's pretty annoying, but we move on, we carry on. Yeah, I mean, Fatal Push decks are the anathema to this deck, which is part of the reason I like it, because when the format is not that interactive, you can spike a lot of matches with it. And, well, when it is an interactive, at least we're kind of rewarding interaction. We're rewarding the Fatal Push and Inquisition decks of the format. Shadow's certainly a tough one, though, from what I can tell. Without the cheese factor involved, like, I'm sure there's a significant number of games where they are winning and you still cheese out the game because of how their deck plays. But failing that, yeah, I don't know. Not one I wanted to see. But the other thing I like about this deck is it does cover the bases with BG Rock pretty well. So if, like, Shadow's the top deck in the format, maybe we don't want to play this, but that means Rock is going to be really well positioned against the top dog. So that's cool. Something to be said for that. I think we're going to keep the no early threat hand because it has a Bedlam Reveler. And because this means we're not just kind of spinning our tires doing nothing, we are working toward the Reveler. Hopefully early on, and we have some good interaction for the opponent's board if they're playing to the board. Okay, Elvish Mystic. I think it's safe to say they're playing to the board. I was just going to say let's draw a light up the stage. So here we go. This is one reason I've enjoyed Forked Bolt. We get to ping the board, ping the opponent, and turn on a turn 2 light up. Pretty cool. Lava Spike, Warlord's Fury, not the very best cards at the moment, but it's more gas, we'll take it. Ooh, opponent doing nothing. Okay, they look like Elf Tribal to me. Maybe they were going to cast a Dwynen's Elite without the ability to make a token. They decided against it. So I think we're just spiking here. Save our board control for later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to cast Reveler next turn unless it's just better to play our hand. Does that make us want to crash through? Or are we just spiking again? I'm not sure, so I'm just going to spike because crash through has more utility with like a top-decked Swiftspear next turn, for example. Oh my goodness. Wildborn Preserver. Okay, so Flash Reach. You can pay X whenever another elf comes in, basically, and give it a counter. And now the Dwynen's Elite. Okay, so this is a version of Elves that's a little bit more resilient to stuff like Fort Bolt, Lava Dart, Plague Engineer, things like this, but I think our position's still quite good. Lava Dart. Alright, so if we crash through and we don't hit a land, we can still Lava Dart and Forked Bolt the board, leave them with just a 3-3. It's probably pretty good, so let's begin with this. Swifty. Swifty's interesting. Yeah, I guess we go Swifty, Forked Bolt the Elite. I like having some pressure down here. And we get to take care of the board anyway. Cool. Alright, that's fine with me. They only save 2 damage by doing that. Obviously, keeping the board clear of elves with all their elf-related payoffs is pretty good. Elvish Clan Caller, sure, that will die to Lava Dart. In the meantime, this other thing is getting huge, but we should still be able to outrace it without too much issue. Gotta be wary of like Coco into some Shamans of the pack, but it's probably the main thing that would beat us. Alright, so I think we're just going to... Do we have the win? Bolt is 6, plus 4, plus Dart. Not quite, right? So if we Bolt Face, they're at 7. We Lava Dart, they're at 6. We're attacking for 5, they're at 1. Is that better, or should we Bolt and Dart the board and put them to 5? I kind of like controlling the board here. The problem is, like, giving up a land to Bedlam Revelers with Bedlam Reveler next turn is kind of bad. So I'm actually going to do neither. I'm just going to Bolt Face and then attack and put them to 2, or to 3. Putting them to 3 is still really good, obviously. They're dead to any spike, including one that we draw off Reveler. We'll have the land to cast it, any spike or bolt. Elvish Archdruid, perhaps. Sure enough. Okay, the Wildborn Preserver putting in some work against us. Hopefully it won't be enough. I think we've really got a brick for us to lose from here. Especially because the opponent attacked. It still might be correct for them to attack, but You know, or we could just run another Lava Dart. That's pretty good too. Alright. I think Elves is a pretty good matchup. Their specific build, and maybe this is an adaptation to Plague Engineer, little bit less tasty looking than the usual elf list that you expect. We have lost our Kozilek's return, so no major blowout potential with one spell. But Abrades are still pretty good, maybe Dismember as well. We want to control the board, but, you know, our life total's not free in the matchup at all, so Dismember is the least good. I don't, like, always want to side out Kiln Fiend, I don't think, but maybe they have enough chump blockers in this matchup that we're still supposed to. Also, for lack of anything else to side out, like, all of these other cards look pretty good. I don't mind cutting Lava Spikes if we're trying to control the board. Definitely want our Abrades. Yeah, okay, let's do that. And do we want to cut another spike for a Dismember? Tough call. Tough call, really. And if we do, should we cut something else like slower, like another Bedlam Reveler? I can buy that on the draw. Again, I don't know how correct that is. I also don't know if you should cut your third copy of Reveler before you cut your fourth copy of Light Up the Stage, if it's a grindy matchup. Maybe somebody who's a vet Prowess player can tell me, otherwise I'll just keep learning the deck and eventually eventually be pretty comfy with these decisions, but Lava Dart, Forked Bolt, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, pretty happy to just start darting things this early. And next turn, deploy a creature plus Forked Bolt is almost certainly going to be the line, unless they once again don't do anything. They don't do anything, huh? They got that flash creature again? I bet they do. So if they do, we don't really want to attack this turn anyway. I mean, we could certainly not play both things in attack is what I mean to say. Or they don't have it. Interesting. Steel Leaf Champion. Sure. So we could Bolt Lava Dart to be mana efficient, but we're wasting a lot of prowess that way. So instead we're just going to either Lightning Bolt, Forked Bolt, or we could double Forked Bolt. Or we could Lightning Bolt Lava Dart. We could do that. What if we go Swifty, Bolt, and Dart the Steel Leaf, and then spike the opponent? We Stone Rain ourselves to do that, but that still might be great. We're left with Bolt and double Forked Bolt in hand, which is awesome. Alright. Sure. Note also the -X counters that were put on that by Soul-Scar, so we could have, you know, attacked well this turn without it, and it's a lot, we would have kind of neutered it as a threat that way, but again, they have so many Elves Matter payoffs that I think I'm pretty comfortable just killing that outright. Okay, so here's a Collected Company. This is where Forked Bolt looks bad. This is where Forked Bolt is bad, I guess, is maybe a more accurate way to say it. You know what I think our play is? I think we're just at least once Forked Bolting face. And maybe a second time. But I think that's a little loose. So I think we're going to attack. We get blown out pretty hard if they have, like, Steel Leaf Champions to Coco into. But it's kind of true anyway. And we're at least bluffing interaction that we don't have this way. Yeah, man. Forked Bolt. Not good against the card collected company. Very good against any other way that that a deck like this plays their game. Okay, those are some weak hits for this exact moment off Coco. Both good cards, especially Skoos in the matchup. But yeah, not breaking our heart with those hits. And if Forked Bolt was an instant, we would have lethal. Sadly, we just have to kill the Skoos instead before they can gain any life. Okay, so we're seeing some real points in favor of and against Forked Bolt in this league already. And, you know, maybe it's just too cute, maybe Burst Lightning is just better, but Imperious Perfect. This is like a go big elf deck. You don't see this as stock, or at least you haven't in the past. Ooh, Swifty. Oh, Swifty, Swifty. Okay. This is kind of bad because they can start making elf tokens. So I think we need to just dig for a spike or a bolt right now. Abrade. Yeah, a little awkward, but it's actually decent for next turn. But for now, we're just passing. It's not worth getting that 1 damage across and losing 2 things. Okay, so opponent main phases that, which is then going to facilitate nothing, I guess. Alright, Warlord's Fury. Huh. I guess we're casting that because if we draw a land, we can abrade a blocker and have lethal. Or we can hit like a damage spell and have lethal, so sure. If we hit another 2/3 drop or another creature, it's not good. Ugh. Oh. Rough. Getting some kind of bad variance, I feel. League's still young, and it'll happen, but okay. No block. Can't block. Opponent's got all the mana in the world, and the new clan caller will come to the battlefield, but instead they're going to make more perfects, make more tokens. So even more than ever, we're just trying to draw a kill spell. And now Abrade plus attack is not lethal, so now we need to just crash through again, looking for spike or bolts. We did it. Got him. Right? Is this MTGO lag? Concession lag? It is, okay. Sweet. Well, nice 2-0 over Elves, despite some little sketchy moments here and there, but the deck does provide. You know, you see a ton of cards with a deck like this. You'll get there. Even if you side out some number of spikes, you're still likely enough to hit something like it. Opponent was almost there. You know, they almost stabilized against us, but they did not, as it happens. And here we go. Oh my god. Scary looking hand, but got them all. This hand's terrible. Do we keep this or do we go to 5? I don't know. I don't know what's right. I guess we'll keep. Maybe this is my mid-range bias kicking in of not wanting to mull too low. In a blind game 1, you know, Manamorphose off the top makes this hand nuts. And there are a lot of acceptable draws that keep us in the game until we can overwhelm them with Reveler value. Snow-covered forest into Search for Tomorrow. Okay, yep, I mean, we've got all the ability in the world to race this deck, but our opening 7 and opening 6 are not going to comply. I'm afraid we're pretty unfavored right now, especially because they could bolt us, and Prismatic Omen is a card that helps them race, and we just literally draw only lands after keeping a hand like this. Pretty rough. Okay, deck, okay. At least this one will be over quick, huh? Man. I mean, I can accept. I could have accepted that this should have been a mull, even if it did work, even if it did pay off to keep. But man, we're getting about as punished as possible. And there you go, Sweltering Suns. So even worse for us. Okay, Kiln Fiend. Well, you know, this might actually be the card that does it. Really, if they don't have a kill spell for it, which they very well may. And if we can just go off with Manamorphose, we now need a way to kill Tribe Elder as well. Then Kiln Fiend can maybe one-shot them. This is actually like a decent lifeline. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Manamorphose into more action. Lava Dart. So we dart, we go to 10. We have lethal. Let's hope they don't have a bolt. Did we do it, or do you have Lightning Bolt? We did it! Oh, point in favor of Kiln Fiend, baby. Just the spicy one of Kiln Fiend. Stealing game 1. Did not deserve that one whatsoever, but this Titanshift deck that we assume we're against, it looks just like straight Titanshift, or maybe Scapeshift, but they almost all play Titan these days, is the bane of our existence on BG the Rock. So, do I feel bad? No. No, I do not. Oh, that is hilarious. Now, do we just do Blood Moons and race as hard as possible? I believe that's probably the case. So, if we're operating on that assumption, what are our worst racing cards? Probably maybe a 1 of Reveler. Again, you know, if I can see playing 4, trimming 1. I don't know if you're even supposed to trim 1 when you play 3, but against Scapeshift, probably. Yeah, Reveler. I don't know how we beat, like, Obstinate Baloth too easily. Maybe it's a card we just kind of have to make them have. I don't think we should bring in Dismember or something for it. We can maybe, you know, double burn it and keep racing. So we cut a Reveler, we cut a Forked Bolt, is that correct? Or do we just cut 2 Forked Bolts? I have no idea. Again, first time out in the league, so the nuances of sideboarding may well elude me, but we got game 1, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know how this matchup is supposed to go. I know that Goldfishing, we outrace them quite handily, but of course they can just control the board. They keep 7. This is a pretty weak hand. I think we're supposed to look for a turn 1 threat. It's like it's a balanced and powerful hand, but I think we have to mull for the turn 1 threat. And we got them. We got a lot of them, so we're going to keep. And I actually think we're supposed to bottom one of them, I guess. Some very interesting decisions there. Number 1, do we even bottom a threat? Number 2, if we do, should we keep a Soul-Scar around, or we'll just draw one? Okay, sure. Because there's an argument for keeping Soul-Scar, even though it's a less efficient beater in terms of racing, because we can help wither down big blockers like the aforementioned Obstinate Baloth, right? So again, I don't know what's correct here. See what we draw. Light Up. Light Up is interesting. So we could go Forked Bolt, Light Up, swing for 3. Or we could go Swifty, and we do 5 total. Or we could go Swifty, swing for 2, Light Up. It's a little bit of a slow play on the draw. Still might be okay. Or we could try to go all in this turn on Manamorphose, but I kind of think I want to save Manamorphose for next turn. Try to force them to have a sweeper effect this turn, like play halfway into it, but not all the way. Save our Manamorphose. So, do we go for that reason? The only problem with slow rolling a Swifty is that we cannot cast Manamorphose and both Swifties right away next turn if we do that. I think I'm going to go Forked Bolt, Light Up the stage here. Really looking for another land in there. Okay, and they have the bolt, so that punishes us. I was going to say for not having the 3rd land, but now we've got it, so guess we go Swifty Manamorphose and then start casting from exile. So if they don't have another bolt, they do not. So we just play another Swifty and crash through. That leaves a Lava Dart. I don't think we can leave Lava Dart out because we don't want it to stay exiled. Right? That's how that works? Yeah. Alright, we're going to crash through. Yeah, I guess we're darting here. We do have lethal if they don't do anything amazing this turn. Looks like they're going to do the amazing thing that their deck does. Pretty rough turn 4 Titan, but we don't really disrupt besides Blood Moon, so I guess that's kind of what their deck is set up to do. We could still put together lethal here, I bet, but might need the help of good old Manamorphose. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the ability to go Swifty, Bolt you, Spike you, put them to 4, and then Dart, put them to 3, and then either one connecting is lethal. Well, I guess we did it. Lava Dart OP. Lava Dart OP. Sweet. Alright, guys. Alright, we're doing Prowess things. We're 2-1. We got curved out on pretty hard by Shadow round 1. But since then, it's been smooth sailing. Gotta admit, I like this deck. I like the cut of this... can't talk. The cut of this deck's jib, I must say. I do like it. It's a fun change of pace. And, you know, rest assured to my regulars, we will remain focusing on the rock and all that. But this is a time of change at the moment. Not only did I feel the urge to start playing some Prowess, but we also have Pioneer going on. I know a lot of people want to see more Pioneer content. I'm going to bring that to you as well. Both Rock and Prowess and Pioneer, maybe. Taking a ton of mulls. More mulligans than I usually take in my practice matches, but I guess we're supposed to probably mull that. Okay, this is a good 6. We either bottom Fury or Lava Dart, I guess. Probably Dart. Even though it's one of our best cards in a lot of situations. So yeah, as I was saying, you know, rock regulars, don't worry, that's always going to be my main focus, but for now, if I do spend less time on the rock for the next little while, just, you know, oh no, another Shadow deck, please, please, I don't want to face this, I'm not an expert in the decks, and therefore I can't beat the Shadow, right? Yeah, I think we're just gonna race. They don't always have Shadow, right? Right, guys? Another Soul-Scar is an interesting draw, and this is Mardu Shadow. Oof, Tide Hollow here is rough. We have a lot of outs to it, though. Let's draw one. Let's draw an out to the Tide Hollow. And then we're just racing OP. We're just going to race pedal to the metal here. Don't know what else to do. Really sucks that we had to mull against an attrition deck. They take Soul-Scar? Wow. Wow. Not respecting the game-winning potential of Manamorphose right here, but admittedly, we won't necessarily get there. But I guess we're bolting this. It's pretty good. And again, I think we just go all in. We play around further discard really well this way. And look at that, the opponent's within spike range. They're no longer able to both fetch and check. They might not even be able to do either without dying to just like a Lava Dart, even if they can somehow contain our board. So any spell off the top is probably really good. Silent Clearing, sketchy land for them to use. They have to just play a 2/2 bear. Yikes, department. Major yikes. Fatal Push, okay. Literal anything. Of course we draw Mountain. Got another crack. Oh my god. Well, we give the opponent a window. Oh, what do we do? Do we get 1 point across and lose a creature? Can't believe it. Yeah, I think we're going to get a point across and lose a creature. Opponent's obviously going to take the block here because there's no, like, they're dead if they don't, so getting blown out by a combat trick is the least of their worries. And I think I'm going to sandbag that Mountain. Maybe I should have played it, actually, just because they, like, know we don't have anything. But at least they might wonder if we have, like, a Reveler here or something. Okay, they no longer wonder because they cast yet another Tide Hollow Sculler. But look, literally any non-creature spell and they're just dead. Maybe not dead because they have 2 blockers now, but Good enough. And they're sure dead to that lava dart. What? How come it didn't, yeah. Okay, I guess we just dart them now. Oh, yeah, okay, duh. That's why. Because we can't cast the dart yet. I'm seeing it somewhere that's not in my hand, and I'm assuming I can flash it back. Well, they're dead to it this turn. Don't know if they can have game 1 to survive, but they're going to look. Alright, hey, we took game 1 off of a Shadow deck. That is huge. Alright, let's really try to win one of these post-side games. Mardu Shadow is the hardest Shadow variant for me to beat on Rock compared to Grixis and to Traverse because it's kind of the least easily disrupted and the most grindy. Therefore, I think Shrine of Burning Rage might be kind of the way to go here. Abrades to kill Tide Hollow and Ranger Captain are also interesting. If they're playing something like Damping Sphere like the other Shadow deck did, that's cool too. We could also play Dismember, maybe Blood Moon is in consideration, probably not to the moon. We definitely don't want to overside though, so let's figure out what we don't like. We don't like Kiln Fiend. So we took out some Forked Bolts against Grixis, but here the Forked Bolts are a lot better. Again, killing Tide Hollow. So do we leave those in over Abrade, or do we split them? And do we just maybe not play... You know what? I'm going to not play Shrine here, because we already have too many cards to fit in, I think. I'm just going to play 2 Abrades. I don't think, you know, all 3 might get too clunky, but I like having access to a couple. And maybe I'm a little less interested in spiking them out of the game, because again, they're a little bit more grindy. I don't know. Man, put to the test by Shadow twice, at least in the first one. Would have preferred some more straightforwardly clear things to, decisions to make for sideboarding with my first time out. And with no guide or anything like this to follow, so what do? Just make a decision. Let's just cut a Forked Bolt. We'll split the difference. We'll hedge a little bit. And we'll see how it goes here on the draw. As always, my friends, I'd love to hear your sideboard plans if you are an experienced mono-red prowess modern veteran. Well, we hate to mulligan an attrition matchup. I think we're going to keep this one, especially with the opponent mulling. That's not a great hand, but it will do. And we got that rev, and they're down to 5. Okay. Okay, at least say this for the Shadow players. They are mulling for us. I don't know if Thoughtseize is still in their deck post-side. If not, they're going to be sad to see the rev. Okay, it's an Inquisition. They still might have Thoughtseizes around, but... Okay, taking away Soul-Scar is no surprise. I was thinking about just passing, but since we drew another Forked Bolt, I'm just going to fire this one off. Possible that we're not supposed to burn them at all. Another Inquisition, sure. Because one of the ways we do lose is to an early Shadow, despite their heavy mull. Lava Spike, huh? Again, I don't know I think just because it fuels Reveler, we're going to cast it more than anything. So we can end step Lava Dart, untap, go land Reveler, right? 8 minus 5 is 3 last time I checked. It's pretty good. Oh, not against Sculler. Okay. So they take Rev here. Unless they have like another next level away. Okay, they don't. Sure. So if we dart to get our Rev back, we still can't cast it next turn. So I'm just going to untap. Maybe we draw like a Forge Bolt or another Bedlam Reveler, sure. Do we do that now? Nah, I don't see any pressing need. We can't cast either Reveler yet anyway, so whatever. I mean, we just want to draw more gas, I guess. So I guess we're just kind of taking the hit here. We don't even really want that Reveler back yet because we just have to discard it to this one if we ever get to cast it. Shadow, yes. Okay, we can't dart that. They're protecting it with a fetch land. Okay, it's getting more complicated for us. We draw a Lava Spike. It's not very good, honestly. It's not very good, but it's going to unlock our Rev. In conjunction with the dart, so sure. So yeah, as mentioned, the early Shadow is a way for our opponent to cheese us out despite the Maul. Just a very tough card, it seems, for us to beat. It's probable that we're supposed to just dart the opponent on the end step, put them to 6 in range of double burn, and then have the Reveler out, standing in their way. What is this? Ranger Captain of Eos. Scary card. Right now, but maybe doesn't change all that much. Assuming they don't have a land in hand. Yep. Okay, we're gonna dart the OP. They're now dead to a few more draws, admittedly, than they were before. Will they Ranger Captain us on our upkeep? We can still cast the Reveler. That might not be that bad. Interesting decision for the opponent. Okay, so we're not going to Lava Dart here. We're just gonna hope we draw instants, basically. The third Reveler. Oh, so annoying. So annoying. Really just wanted like a land there. You know, so many other things would have been good. And now we have no burn in hand, so we're totally top deck dependent to not die. We got a chump with Rev here, of course. Okay. See if they, for some reason, pay more life, take more actions here. Try to cheese them with a dart. No, sir. Man, oh man, Death Shadow. The card itself is what is absolutely ruining us this league. Alright, so we saw... I think we saw that the major danger is them just outracing us, so I kind of like just how we sided. Don't think we need shrines, although I think they're okay. Don't think we need them. Abrade was not that useful there. One Abrade out, so we could bring back Forked Bolt just for maximum density of burn. We could bring in a Blood Moon to try to cheese out a win on the play, or we could bring in a Shrine for another, like if the game does get grindier, like if they're competing with us but they don't have a Shadow early, then Shrine could be really good. I don't know. I know that we were pretty darn unlucky to hit all three Revelers so close together there. A lot of draws would have just gotten us the win there. Blood Moon is probably not the best. So, Forked Bolt or Shrine? Forked Bolt or Shrine? Let's play a 1-of Shrine, see how it treats us. I guess we keep this double rev hand. It's pretty awkward, but we don't like to mull against the attrition deck, and we do have a lot of gas in here to get the Revelers going. And like not burning the opponent early is not the end of the world either. Forked Bolt, killing Giver. Is that what we're doing with our lives? I think it is. Again, I'm not in panic mode yet about having missed the land drop off of our first 2 hits. Here comes a Sculler, I bet. No, another Giver. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. They unearthed. Alright, well, we don't want the Givers to protect each other and to protect other things, so I guess we're just continuing to bolt the board and hope to top deck a land. What do we have on 3 mana? Ranger Captain. Don't know if Planeswalkers will be in. Yeah, Ranger Captain. Nice 2 for 1. Come on. Come on, deck. Okay. You know, we can still definitely get there. We really can. But you hate to see this many missed land drops in a row. The opponent kind of got like an unusually proactive start. You know what I mean? Like, the first 2 games, them presenting all these small creatures early would not have been good. This game, it is kind of good for them to have it. Oh my god. Yep. Okay, so they can take Fury to really try to land screw us, or they can take Manamorphose as the high ceiling card of the hand. Or they can just take a Lightning Bolt. Interesting. Try to protect their board that way, I guess. Ah, because they're playing the Shadow. We draw another Bolt. So this is a great window to draw our land finally, and we didn't. Granted, we'd still be little scared of them having the Street Wraith, right? But I think we have to cycle this, look for that land. We did it. It was just one card too late for us to really get him. Like, if we had had that in the first 6 draws or whatever it was, the second land, and if we were able to resolve Bolt, yeah, maybe we're in business. Maybe we're in business. Another Shadow. Okay. Okay, I see. So now the question is, are we just erasing? Like, if we just bolt, then we untap, I don't think we can win a race. Like, not against a second Shadow. So I think we have to bolt the board. Should have waited till end step for this. Was just talking and didn't notice we were still in main. Doesn't matter. Alright. Okay, we gotta try to bolt shadows here. Okay. I think we then cast a Rev. At least we get some value out of the back half of Lava Dart here. It's a good turn. I'm still not optimistic because they do have a Shadow. But we just kind of got our way back into the game, potentially. Yep. That's rough. Brutal, guys. A little brutal. Not gonna lie. Okay. That sucks. Well, we're clearly not meant to take down Shadow decks. Again, it is doable. We did get a win there. Opponents had some pretty strong curve outs overall, despite a couple mulls in those 2 Shadow matchups. I think it's unlucky to run into a Shadow deck twice. That's for sure. We're looking super strong against other archetypes, but Shadow an annoying one. But we're still doing okay. We're looking for the Cashed League here on the debut, and we are still live for it. So let's get there. Let's play a non-fatal push deck. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty unlucky to run into another one. Obviously, specifically not trying to see Shadow again. BGX in general, also pretty rough. But their clocks are slower, and Reveler can bury them more comprehensively than it does against Shadow, because Shadow just, you get to your Reveler and then they can still just outrace you that turn, as we saw there, right? Okay, on the play. I've mulliganed so much this league. I think we're going to keep. That's not like a scientific reason to keep it. But it's what I did. It's what I did. It's what I'm doing. Shadow Fiend at 69 in the tank about the mulligan, and then they take it. Okay, they go down to 6. I think our play is probably turn 1 crash through almost no matter what. Especially because we have a second one in hand. Okay, there's the third land, which we don't necessarily need, but hitting the third land, pretty sweet. Hedron Crab. Oh boy. And a Boro into Hedron Crab means it's probably mill, rather than any kind of a Crab Vine deck. I'm going to assume that. So we can bolt and then spike, or we can just crash through, then bolts. I think we just crash through again. If we draw like a Forked Bolt, that's better to use. No, we're just starting to flood a bit. Okay. Visions of Beyond, cantripping, okay, mill confirmed, and 1 land mill keep confirmed. Well, I think at this point we're just going to race with our Forked Bolt upstairs, even though they could have another crab coming up. It's now not that bad to Lava Dart a crab, even if we have to flash back, because we have a lot of lands here. Jace's Phantasm. As long as an opponent has 10 or more cards in their graveyard. I'm just going to dart that now. Manamorphose. Jace's Phantasm is kind of scary, actually, out of this mill deck. Crash through. Alright, give me a creature. Give me a creature. Woo, we did it. Okay. So we can hit for 4 if we just go sicko mode with our lava darts. Put the opponent to 8. I don't think I'm gonna. And therefore we're also gonna sandbag that mountain. There are other things like further Jace's Phantasms or Hedron Crabs we might need to kill. So that's exactly why I didn't. And we drew a Lava Spike, so that's cool. So now do we go all in on the dart? Well, we're definitely spiking no matter what. So if we dart the crab twice, we kill it, we put the opponent to 5. Or we could attack, and if they don't block, we put them even lower, but still not that low. I think we're just going to kill the crab here. Alright, so the opponent still got a full grip. We're totally out of gas, but they're dead to a whole lot. And they were land screwed until right now. They still might be screwed off of another color if they are a multicolored deck. They mill over some burn spells, but we got a lightning bolt. Okay, so this is going to mill us for 3 per turn. Guess we're going to kill it. It's also going to block our Swifty, so... Okay, they're now dead to Bolt or Spike, as well as just getting hit by this a few times without any buffs. Bedlam Reveler, there's obviously a great draw here with them filling us our graveyard. If they do keep milling us, then we have the out of, like, just them milling over our 2 remaining lava darts. Okay, they're going to fetch a swamp here. Do they have a push? They do. Okay, well, we got them to 2. So now, yeah. Just a little worried about main deck Crypt Incursion would be the thing. That's a 3 mana spell, exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. I believe target player. Gain 3 life for each one. Not, well, we only have one in there anyway. They have a bunch, though. Okay, we're getting some bad draws here at this stage of the game. But we do have a great deal of inevitability. Opponent might be sitting on some archive traps in hand. Lava Dart's a good spell. Lava Dart is probably lethal. I cannot imagine them having both removal and, like, good permission here. Unless, I mean, Snapcaster Mage is a card. But if it's just Snap Push, then Lava Darts to the face win. So I think they need permission or life gain for 1/2 of Dart. They have the Crypt Incursion. I knew it. Unbelievable. Main deck freaking Crypt Incursion, dude. Come on. Come on. I'm just darting for more damage while the coast is clear. They don't have black mana up. Well, that's the card we needed to fade, and that's the card they're main decking. Definitely not your usual mill build with all of these creatures, plus the Crypt Incursion. It's obviously extremely punishing to face a deck like this. And we're against the third Fatal Push deck of the league, so it's safe to say our matchups have been very bad compared to what we prefer to face. In light of this, I think the deck's performing really well. I'm also, of course, no expert. I might not have been sideboarding perfectly, so no matter how this goes, I'm pretty optimistic with the deck here. They mill over 2 Bedlam Revelers, of course. One of our very best draws down the drain. And we hit a mountain. The temptation to scoop is strong, but we're going to play it out. We can still get there. Archive Trap, main phase. We have a Lava Dart, and we just can't draw gas. So many spells here, and the opponent's done for. Crash Through is okay. That's the one we really wanted. Alright, we're going to dart now. Opponent's at 4. We're kind of making them have the kill here. Or more Crypt Incursions, I guess. Mesmeric Orb is not the kill, but combined with a Glimpse the Unthinkable, it could be. Okay, so they mill Swifty Reveler. We draw another land. Lands, get out of here. We need 1 mana non-creature spells. Light up the stage. Oh no! Could this possibly get any worse? I said 1 mana, not 3. We don't got Spectacle. Well, I mean, okay. I mean, we're technically not dead. They just have to have Stone Cold Nothing. We're gonna mill 3. Go to 4 cards in the library, draw 1. Drown in the luck, okay. I mean, if they, once again, have Stone Cold Nothing. We draw Warlord's Fury. Really? Really, deck? Maybe should have played a land first to play around Spell Pierce. I don't know what's in their deck, but of course we just have... Ooh, cancel. Do we have a Lava Dart in the yard from all that milling? No. We've seen all 4. How unlucky can we get? We had about a million different outs at a million different stages of that game. And the opponent had the main deck Crypt Incursion at the right time. Rather unlucky, my friends. Rather unlucky. I really don't think I'm overstating that. Try not to be negative here. I'm just calling it like I see it, right? Tormod's Crypt is interesting to shut off things like Visions of Beyond and Crypt Incursion, or to compete over them, more accurately perhaps. We could also just play Surgical, which fuels Reveler and is more of a surprise play, I guess. Either way, I think we want Abrade. It kills all of their small stuff, and it also kills Mesmeric Orb. What comes out? I mean, I guess Kiln Fiend because they're a Fatal Push deck. I'm gonna trim a Warlord's Fury here, maybe multiples. Normally I wouldn't trim the cantrips, but, you know, just churning through our deck that much faster against mill might not be the best idea. Let's play all three Abrades. Do we want to, like, cut a spike for a cheeky piece of Grave Hate? I think we probably do. I'm just not sure what it should be. Let's just play the Crypt. If we're going to play it, we might as well... Like, they're a very redundant deck. They have a lot of pretty redundant creatures. They have a lot of very redundant spells, right? So I think we just want to hose an entire graveyard if we can. Most games will probably go so that only one graveyard is a good Crypt Incursion target, not both. So Tormod's Crypt being one-sided is not that big a deal. I'm going to keep this... It controls the board really well. We got turn 2 light up the stage. It's slow, but I think it's a keepable hand. Opponent on the mull. I think this matchup's totally fine. Yeah, Leyline of Sanctity. Okay. Card that we can really, really beat, but it's excellent against our specific hand without a creature. Normally, I wouldn't even care, right? But, oh, God, and now we draw a Reveler. Okay. I don't know how good any of this stuff is against us, Leyline. It's medium, I say. Certainly, like, mulling aggressively toward it seems medium. Only if an opponent lost life, huh? Crash Through. That's a card we can use. Into a Mountain. Problem is they're just setting up for their late game, like they're not doing anything early, but neither can we. Couple Lava Darts. Again, if they didn't have this Leyline, we'd be off to the races here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can cast Reveler. I think we're probably just supposed to, right? Oh my god, like... Guys, this league is just not going our way. Like, Reveler is one of the best possible draws at any point in the game except exactly there. We keep seeing no Revelers or double Revelers, which is one reason why I kinda... This is so bad, discarding all these cards. Let's go Soul-Scar here. Set up for a big turn next turn, try to win through the Leyline. It's one reason I only play 3 Revelers, because I don't like the clunkiness of multiples, but despite my hedge, they're still clunking us up big time, right? It's okay. We can still get there now. Drowning the lock, pretty rough. So, yeah. We could have crypted in response, but we lose so much. So much that way. Once again, light up the stage coming at the exact worst time. Yeah, I can't cast it. The only question is how heavily do we want to go in on Dart? If we just take out our whole spread of lands, we are dealing pretty close to lethal, but not quite. I think I'm just going to do one. It's a little arbitrary, but feels like an appropriate hedge. Scribe. Milling over a bunch of lands. Fine by me. Okay, I mean, Abrade this guy attack is a pretty good turn. Still don't have lethal with a lava dart, so I'm going to keep my 2 lands around here, just hit for 4. They gotta push. It's pretty bad. We're at a virtual 10 in terms of our card count in the deck. Now we're a lot lower. Milling another 10. No lava darts. Oh my goodness. More light up the stages. So awkward, but at least we're going to be able to hopefully cast them both this turn and set up for lethal next. Okay. No land in these 4. Variance has been all over the place this league. But if the opponent doesn't have anything here, we're probably going to still get lethal next turn, or we at least have a decent shot at it. Remember, we do have the lava darts as finishers, and we've got Manamorphose in here as big game. So yeah, if they just mill 10 and they don't do anything else. Okay, Abrade, a bad draw. Let's make sure not to mill ourselves with our draws here. Can we get a burn spell? Okay, Swifty. Whoa. Wow. We got there. Got there through the leyline despite having a hand that was so incredibly soft to leyline I cannot even accurately describe it. Like, it's hard to say just how bad our variance was that game relative to what the opponent was up to. And we still barely got there, which this deck is very resilient to hate. Very resilient to, like, leylines and core firewalkers and stuff. They're still very good against us in some windows, and they're still decent overall, at least decent, but we can still really get there. That was pretty epic, that was pretty cool, and yeah, what do we do here on the draw for Game 3? Playing for the Cash League, and I don't really want anything that I don't have already. I think how we sided is pretty good. I'm still unsure how much we should be on Crypt versus Extraction versus neither versus both. But does Shrine target? Any target, yes. So that's not a way around Leyline. So I think we're just going to run it back. I think normal, like a stock mill deck, like a more, no offense to the opponent, a more competitively designed mill deck, from what I know about what the mill archetype tends to look like, I think that would be a better matchup. But this one with a million creatures and main deck Crypt Incursion and Leylines, yeah, I don't know. This is a functional hand with a creature we keep. And they don't have a Leyline, but they did keep 7. And if they go turn 1 Crab, they don't. Okay. Swifty it is. Okay, no collective brutality, please. Interesting that they didn't fetch on the end step. That tells me they are flush. They are either flush with lands, or they want to save landfall for a crab. Like they're hoping to top deck a crab, maybe. They probably still would have to be flush with lands, though, for that to make sense. But if they've got like a bunch of lands in hand, then they don't mind waiting to fetch a basic, and they just mill us for 10. Okay. We lose out on some good stuff, and no lava darts. And no second land. So we can, I think we're supposed to light up here. I think we're just supposed to attack and then light up. Gotta like guarantee our second land drop here and have a good turn next turn. Come on, light up. Even 2 lands here would be sick. We'll take 1. Reveler pretty bad. We can pass and play around brutality. But I don't think we're gonna. I think they would have used it last turn if they had it. So if they top deck it, that is what it is. And with that in mind, would we rather crash through right now or lava spike right now? Crash through is better if they find a blocker, like saving it. But in most ways, I think it's better to crash right now. Like, just sets us up for the best possible turn next turn, in theory. And we have Forked Bolt to take care of at least some blockers they can present, so I'm going to crash. Okay. Not hating the Manamorphoses, Manamorphosi. Visions of Beyond. Drawing only 1. Okay. And another land here. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh no. We just do everything main phase here, right? Like spike main phase, light up main phase. I think that's good. Opponent looks like they're F6'd. Okay, so Crypt Incursion would gain them 1 to 6 life, right? 2 creatures, 6 life. Or if they had like push into Crypt Incursion or something, but they don't have the black mana for that. We should really have lethal this turn if they don't have a kill spell. Even if they've got like permission or whatever, I still think we'll have lethal. Crypt Incursion, yes. So they gained 6. We still might be able to put together lethal. Let's give it a shot. We do not have any lava darts in the bin right now, but we do have 2 in hand. Okay, Swifty. Light up the stage. Okay, so we can begin... Let's play this. I guess we can begin with a lava dart. I don't think we're getting lethal anymore. Most we could do this turn is 3, 4, 5, plus 6. Wait a minute. Do we have lethal? With just darts and bolts. Let's count. So 1, 2, 3. Plus, so that's 3 damage. Flashing back 2 darts is another 5 damage. And we're getting 4 more prowess triggers. Counting is hard right now. End of the league, first time out. Okay. So we already lava darted, right? Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3 more prowess triggers. Let's count it that way. If we go dart, bolt. No, then we have 4 total. So we flash back dart twice. The fact that 1 dart's in the hand and 1 in the yard is confusing me. Okay, so we have access to 4 more prowess triggers this turn if we don't light up the stage. So Swifty's hitting for 7. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not lethal. So I guess we're supposed to light up right now. We're giving them another turn. I think that's overall pretty fine. I think we're going to play Soul-Scar right now, but we're also going to lava dart the opponent once, kind of splitting the difference between damage now and damage next turn. Don't know if they're on like something unexpected like Damnation or something. I think this gives us lethal kind of either way. Okay, Field of Ruin. No Archive Trap. That's cool. Okay, we're just casting a couple Forked Bolts here main phase. GG. Alright guys, cool, we did it. So we faced, I think, kind of a rougher than average spread of matchups. Again, this is my first time in the league, so if I'm just talking crap, if I'm just talking bollocks, as our friends across the pond might say, if this is just a load of old bollocks, then correct me if I'm wrong. But I think on average, like I said, that specific build of mill anyway, seems harder than what I know is the stock build of mill. I also think that I definitely didn't want to face 2 different Shadow decks, especially my first time out. And then the Elves matchup seems good. Scapeshift, I don't know how that's supposed to go, but we 2-0'd there. I think it's fine. We're kind of the ones making them have the stuff, right? Most of our deck is doing what it's going to do without much interruption against them. They're the ones who need to find the bolts or the Obstinate Baloth or the Sweltering Suns or whatever it's going to be. So maybe those matchups are okay, maybe the matchups overall were okay. I think on average Mill should be good for us, but that particular build maybe not as much. And yeah, I think we had some pretty rough variants in places. On the other hand, we did have a couple top decks for the win, but in my limited experience on the deck, we didn't really hit top gear with the deck at all. We didn't really have nutty top decks, we just had a few chances at hitting it out, and we hit it one of the few times. This deck really gets nutty a lot more than we saw here. So combining that with my rank in experience, the fact that I am an amateur with this deck, I'm pretty happy with the debut. Now, granted, I think the deck's got potential to do way more than 3-2s, but hey, if we can make this deck as a floor, where like even if things kind of go against us, we're still hopefully coming away with a 3-2 the vast majority of the time like we do on Rock, I'll be happy. And I think this deck has some real serious 5-0 potential. And of course, you know, as the meta shifts, it is going to be able to spike the meta in certain windows as well, regardless of how well it's positioned right now. So anyway, my friends, that was the Mono Red Prowess debut. I do hope you liked it, and I do, as I've said, if you haven't seen earlier videos on my Pioneer announcement / plans for the channel, plus my Mono Red Prowess deck tech, I do plan to make this kind of my secondary deck in Modern, so I will be continuing to work on it, to tweak it, and to get better at it, and to keep playing it. But as always, we remain focused on BG the Rock, and Pioneer is new, so I think next we're probably going to play, before we go back to Modern Mono Red Prowess at least, we're going to do some Pioneer content. Maybe Rock again, maybe we dip into Pioneer Prowess, or maybe we do a little bit of both. And of course we need to revisit Modern BG Rock before too long, so all of the dedicated Liliana the Veil players out there, don't get too antsy. Don't worry guys, I'll never ever stop playing that. Rest assured. So anyway, my friends, there you go. I do thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about some of the sideboarding decisions. I do need, I'm sure, some guidance here and there, but I think for the debut we played pretty well, but if I missed some lines, of course, you can let me know about that as well. Look forward to jamming this deck more in the future. It really is thrilling to play sometimes. Once it's in top gear, we didn't see that today, but we saw enough to get there three of the 5 games. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you as always to the Patreon supporters who do make this content possible. Check out Patreon if you haven't recently, guys. I want the feedback from all viewers on how excited you are about Pioneer relative to Modern, how you want my content to be divvied up between this deck and Modern Rock and the new Pioneer stuff. Of course, the view count and the comments in the videos will tell me some of that as well, but specifically, of course, I am here to make content for the patrons and to continue earning your support. So check out my recent post on Patreon. You can vote on this month's scouting report as well if you so desire. And yeah, let me know what you think about the couple new directions of the channel. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon. Hope everybody out there has a wonderful day.